Remember that massive root canal infection where the patient was told he could get an implant immediately? When I looked at this case, I actually thought there was a good chance both teeth were gonna need to come out. I'm talking about number 30 and 31, the two lower right molars. And why? Because the infection around number 30 was so large that it looked like it involved the bone between both teeth. My concern was that if I remove only number 30, I might not be able to completely eliminate the infection. But the patient really wanted to keep number 31. So I explained the risk very clearly. If any infection was left behind, it could affect how the bone graft healed and could also impact the success of a future implant at number 30. He was willing to accept that risk. And of course, I documented that conversation thoroughly because in a case like this, it's important to be very clear about the risks and make sure everyone is on the same page from day one. So we moved forward with removing only number 30. The tooth itself actually came out pretty easily. The difficult part was cleaning out the infection. You see this squishy material right here? That's a big part of the infected tissue. I spent a lot of time carefully cleaning out the area until all I could feel was solid hard bone without any of that self-infected tissue left behind. I didn't capture this part on video, but right after the tooth was removed, I could see a lot of yellow drainage coming from the socket. I also irrigated the site multiple times with hydrogen peroxide and saline to flush everything out. After that, I performed socket preservation. I densely packed bone graft into the defect, placed a collagen membrane over the top, and then sutured the gums to protect the graft while it heals. Now, the good news is that even though the defect was large, the socket still had intact bony walls. That's actually the most favorable type of defect when you're trying to regenerate bone. That said, this is still a pretty large defect, and infections like this can destroy a significant amount of bone. So the plan is to wait at least a year before even considering implant placement. I know people don't like hearing that, but it took decades for the tooth to get to this point. Then rebuilding the site properly and replacing it successfully within 1 to 2 years is actually pretty short in the bigger picture. And one interesting thing I noticed during surgery, remember that white material you saw on the x-rays in the previous video? It was rock solid and it felt a lot like hardened root canal sealer material. For now, the next step is healing. I'll see him again in about a month to evaluate the soft tissue and remove the sutures. And I'll keep you guys posted on how this case progresses.